So continuing with this, we've got our next style of question, which is an example question of find all the vectors that are perpendicular to A and B here. So what we do here is to find a vector that is perpendicular to A and perpendicular to B, we will go, let me change to light blue. We need to find the cross product of these two things. So A cross B, which is going to be equal to I, J, K. This is sort of an algorithm here, and then we put our vectors in. So we're going to have A, which is 1, 2, and -1. And then we're going to have 1, 0, and -3. 1, 0, -3. Cool. Now, obviously, you've got to remember that when you are doing the I vector, we've got our negative sign in front here. So we've got I. All right, we're going to cross out this vector and this vector. So we're left with, it'll be I with a hat. And we're going to find the determinant of 2, -1, 0, -3. Then we've got minus, and I can get rid of those highlight bits. We're now looking at the J vector, so I've done the minus there. Highlight these. Our vector here that we're going to be finding the determinant is 1, -1, and 1 and -3. And this is our J plus K here. And we're going to have the K vector is going to be, let's highlight this just to double check we're all over this, 1, 2, 1, 0. So 1, 2, 1, 0. Perfect. I'm going to start skipping this step here for you guys, but make sure you put it in there. I'm just trying to save time, but determinant, so these two, remember when we find if A is a vector A, B, C, D, the determinant of A is equal to AD minus BC. So we get here -3 times 2, and then minus -1 times 0. So that's just going to cancel out, and that's I. And then we've got our next one is negative. We're going to have we're going to have 1 times -3 minus -1 times 1, and that's J. And then our last one here, 1 times 0 minus 2 times 1, and this is going to be K. I've remembered all the little hats on there. Cool, so next step here, let's simplify this down. So -3 times 2 is -6, so we're left with -6I. We've got -3 times 1 is -3, and -1, but take that. So this negative and negative become a positive, so it's -3 plus 1 is going to be -2, but we've got the negative at the front, so it's going to be +2 here. So +2J. So these three things here would have been +1. So -3 plus 1 gives us -2. -2 times -1 gives us that. Last one here is -2 times 1 gives us -2. So -2K. Now, not all the questions have this, and we could jump here and we could just write this as our vector and put a K in front of it. But in this particular one, the text, they've realised that if we pull out a -2 or a 2 here, we're going to get -2, and then it's 3 times I plus J minus K. Now, this just takes this one back to its simplest components. So, I missed a negative sign there. A positive, I've missed a negative and a positive actually. So, minus J plus K. Cool. So now the key to this question here is it says find all vectors. We found a vector. So therefore, to find all vectors, so all vectors that are perpendicular to A and B have the form K. Now, I can remove this negative 2 here and I can just write this as 3I minus J plus K. Or I can write this as K bracket 3 negative 1 and that's not meant to be a K. Yes, it is. And 1 here. So either of those notations is fine. Where K is a non-zero real number, or we could write that as K is a real number. K cannot equal 0.